Hey everybody, Rorree here. Welcome to my channel, Totally Rorree International. Just as a disclaimer, because I always forget, but we have a couple of communities that are private where we can say whatever we want to say. We can be whoever we want to be without being censored, without being judged, and we can have some fun. So I have a spiritually based community. It's called Roses, Lavender, and Sage. In Roses, Lavender, and Sage, I work with women and I help women to be the best themselves that they could possibly be. We talk, we have discussions, we have movie night. We've done a couple of, we are in the middle of doing a documentary right now. And we did a movie the other day. I didn't really like the movie a couple weeks ago. But anyway, that is one community. Then we have a community that is, I would say, co-ed, I guess, but it's men and women. And that is that group is called the Sage Circle. That's more geared to just be our spiritually based part. Where we work with whomever, all are welcome within our community. We are non-denominational. We do support pro-choice, if you know what I'm talking about, all right, in all things pro-choice. And we are all about alternative wellness and healing, alternative wellness for the mind, body, spirit. We are all about alternative wellness. Those of you who followed me for years, you already know that I talk about alternative wellness. Those of you who have had private sessions with me, you know, I tell you, I give you a disclaimer that I am not a naturopathic medicine doctor. Whenever I share anything, I always share that you definitely have to run everything by your doctor, because herbs can counteract with medication. So you all know that I'm all about natural healing, okay? And I am a healer. I am an intuitive empath. I am a medical intuitive. And so I could assist you, whether it's a physical ailment or an emotional ailment, or you want to manifest something, you know, or someone or something or whatever that may be. I have had lots of experience in business. So when I do business coaching, I'm pretty good at that, because the business coaching also comes with intuitive guidance. So how wonderful is it that you could get a coach that could be a life or business coach, personal development coach, but who also can see through you and see through everything and see your way, your path. I hear very well. I'm very clairaudient, but you could go on the website to see my whole Dun and Bradstreet. But you know, it's wonderful to be to be able to have that, to be able to have someone who is intuitive and who also has experience in business. So that has been able to help many people to have the success that they desire on their journey. So anyway, I share all of that because, you know, we all should have options. We do have exemptions, religious exemptions for things that you might need right now, especially before. It seems like everybody has a deadline of September 30th for some reason. I mean, what's happening after September 30th? Is the planet gonna explode or something? I'm like, I don't understand why everybody has this deadline of September 30th. That's something for you all to think about. So anyway. Okay, so you can go to my link tree or go into the description box and you can find the community. If you are a member of the community and you believe in, you know, what we believe in, you don't have to believe in everything we believe in, because I believe in free will, you know, but you definitely, if you're a member of our community, you can have an exemption for yourself, for your family, you know, whatever. Okay. It's not about big profit machine either for that. You know, I just want as many people to exercise their rights as a being on this planet as possible. So let's get into this, what we are here to talk about today, the 4 agreements. We are going to get through this series, okay? Okay, so the 4 Agreements is a book we've been reviewing forever, it feels like now, but we are reviewing it by looking at reflection cards that pull out different aspects of the 4 Agreements that you can reflect upon within your life. So as we're going through these cards, I'm giving my 2 cents. You can give your 2 cents in the comments. If you're in the communities, one of the communities, through Roses, Lavender, and Sage, our spiritual society, if you're in one of the communities, then you can definitely join in on our sessions and you can talk about these as well. But the agreement that this reflection card comes from today is don't make assumptions. And that is so key. It's really not good to make assumptions because you're like guessing and assuming, and you may not be right, and then you can make a whole big mountain out of something that was nothing. Okay, it could be a molehill, a mountain out of a molehill, and you could have made the molehill up in your mind. Okay, so assuming is not what we want to do. Discern the truth. That's what this is saying. Discern the truth. It's a picture of a key. Oftentimes when I see keys, I think of like an opening to the way, a key to enlightenment. And then there's a bright light. So I feel, and then there's like a halo around her. So I feel like this is saying that she needs, or whomever would want to tap into their higher selves and use that enlightenment. Okay. All right. Discern the truth. This is the card. And let's see what it says. The problem with making assumptions is that we believe they are the truth. I have seen people, okay, I'm going off. I've seen people make an assumption, think they know something, and make up a whole big story, a freaking novel, like a sequence of novels off of an assumption, and be loud and wrong. And I'll be like, with my intuition, I could like see, and I'd just be like, okay, and it's like, okay. Because I don't like to always be the bearer of bad news. Like, yeah, that sounds like a nice story. Maybe we should go watch that at the theater. All right. So anyway, the problem with making assumptions is that we believe they are the truth. We make an assumption. We misunderstand. We take it personally. We react by sending emotional poison with our words. This creates a whole big drama for nothing. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. It could create a whole big but it's so much easier to just ask the question, like somebody came to me recently for an intuitive reading and they were asking me a question and I was like, why you don't just ask that person? Like, okay, but then I got it, the person is not really an honest person, so then why are you dealing with that person? I don't know, whatever. It is what it is. We all do that. We all make mistakes. So, but anyway, I like this one. This is saying, discern the truth. Discern the truth. Instead of going off half cocked. Sometimes when, especially if it's hitting you in the heart or it's an emotional type of situation, you want to just stop for a second and wait for the emotionality of the situation to wear down. Because I know plenty of times I'll be all bent out of shape about something, and then a day later, I'm not bent out of shape about it anymore. And I could speak to it in a different way. And so like I would stop, especially in relationships, I would stop always saying something in the heat of the moment, because in the heat of the moment, I might not be processing correctly because I'm dealing with the emotionality of the situation. And later, I could see it very clearly, even though I could probably see clearly then, but later I'll have more control. I'll have more emotional mastery. I won't be like losing it and saying things you don't want to say and stuff like that. So I would tend to wait. Sometimes I would write how I feel and process it on paper and write. I would just write whatever's coming to me and I would get it out that way. Even if I wrote to the person, but I didn't send it because me writing, that was full of emotion. And now that emotion is on the paper. And now I could hear and see clearly without that emotion, because the emotion could block the true information from being able to come through. Sometimes things happen and we're all upset about it, and we don't even recognize that this happened for our good. This happened on purpose. This is what we needed to happen. We might have even asked for this to happen, but we didn't know it was going to hurt or shock us or whatever when it did happen. You know what I mean? We might have asked for to be blissed, you know? We might ask to be blissed and now realize that to be blissed, we may have to be left a person, you know? So to receive the bliss, you might be wanting, praying for happiness or praying for this or praying for that, but maybe the person that's in your life is not in alignment with you having that. So if the person in your life is not in alignment with you having the bliss that you desire, then you will have your collective, your beloved will less LESS you that person. So you will be less that person if they're not in alignment with your bliss. Okay. All right. So yeah, so you may have even asked for it. So that's another reason why I might wait to even say anything. And sometimes I might hear, wait a week. That's a long time sometimes. A week, especially for a woman. A week. I gotta wait a week before I can say something. But in a week, you might feel totally different. You might have had time to process the information. You know, when, like, let's say breakups. Sometimes breakups, woo, you be feeling all messed up. You don't even understand what's going on in the moment, right? And you don't realize that was for your good, right? And so a good thing to do after a breakup, and I know I'm all off topic, but hey, whatever. I go with spirit. So a good thing to do when you have a breakup is quickly, quickly take a spiritual bath. Cleanse, cleanse, remove, release from your yoni, okay? Release from your space. If you got a Peter, I'm gonna call it a Peter, okay? Release from your Peter. Release all of that energy from your space, okay? Release it. Let it go down the drain of the tub, you know? Release the cords and connections, you know, so that you're not feeling, because when you're in love with somebody, in like with somebody, you're having this cord from you to them. Okay, you got this cord going on, right? And as long as this cord going on, you're feeling them, they're feeling you. You're feeling them, they're feeling you. So when they're feeling low, you might be feeling low all of a sudden because they're feeling low, and you're thinking you feeling low. You're like, what's wrong with me? I wasn't feeling low until 2 seconds ago, and then all of a sudden I'm feeling low. What's that? You know, and so y'all are, you know, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because you know both parties might feel some kind of way, even though one person might have made the decision to break it off. Y'all both might be feeling some kind of way, and you both deserve to go through your process by yourself. You know what I mean? So release all of that. Release it from your yoni. Get it out. You know, spiritually cleanse your body in that water. You could just put some Epsom salts in the water. You could put some sea salt in the water. You can put a little charcoal in the water. You want to release, whoo, release, let it go, release, release, release. You know, you want to let the water fall over your head. You know, don't be afraid to get your hair wet, ladies. Let the water fall from head to toe. Let it get off of you. Release, release, release. As you are in that tub, as you are bathing, you are releasing, releasing, releasing them from you. Get them off the back of your neck. Get them off your back. You know what I'm saying? And then allow yourself to be led in the tub. Put on some nice soothing music, whatever you feel soothed by, whatever. You know what I mean? You might like some spiritual music. You might like some Yoruba music, some Latino music. You might like some gospel music, whatever you want to put on. You might like some Deva Premal. I love her music. You know, I love mantras. I might listen to some mantras. You know, I might whatever, and release. Okay, that's the first thing you should do. As soon as you break up with somebody, release. Even if you're the type that y'all are going back and forth, still release. Okay, because you got to be able to tap into your own self by yourself to understand what's going on without the interference of the other person's energy coming back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, so clear yourself and then sit and be and just listen. You know, listen to the Holy Spirit within. Listen to your higher selves. And I say higher selves, and that's a whole lesson in itself, but it came to me that we have different higher selves. It came to me that we have at least 12 higher selves, and the 12 higher selves are directly related to the 12 strands of DNA, which is directly related to, well, I'm not going to get all into it, but because it already feels like it's getting too techy, but you have more than one higher self. You have 12, okay, at least. You know, most people have 12 higher selves. And so, you know, be still and be quiet, because that's your collective consciousness. That's your group that taps in to the, you know, it taps into the source of all that is, the source, the creator source, God, the Almighty, you know. So tap into your higher selves that work with you, that give you the information from source, you know. So, and sometimes they're giving you the information from themselves. You may have some archangels. You may have some Orisha. You may have some ascended masters that are working with you. You know, your collective group, you know, and that could be more than your higher self. I'm not saying that they're part of your higher selves. I'm saying you have your higher selves, and then you have more that are working with you. So sit down. While you taking a bath, be quiet. Don't be on the phone with somebody while you're taking your bath. Okay. Be still. Just and allow the healing to take place. Allow the release to take place, and then be still and listen. And listen to what your group is trying to tell you. Listen to what you were supposed to be learning from this experience. Ask, what am I supposed to be learning from this? Because if you don't learn your lessons, you're going to keep bumping your freaking head. Okay? So, and who want to repeat the lesson? You know, every time you repeat a lesson, it gets a little bit harder. Some people say, well, I attract the same kind of men or the same kind of women, you know, but the common denominator is you. So why are you attracting this? Are you attracting the same type of person, or you're allowing the same type of things, or the same type of experiences happen? You know, how is it that, you know, sometimes the same person could be with somebody else and have a totally different experience? So maybe, you know, maybe you and this person are coming together to heal whatever y'all are coming together to heal on this journey. So heal it. Otherwise, you're going to meet somebody else that's going to carry that same thing that you got to fix that. on this journey, because we're on this path to get to a certain point. Whatever your predestined point is, you're here to go there and to grow there. It's about growth. So start learning your lessons so that you don't have to keep repeating them over and over. Do you know how many people that I talk to that who have been clients for years, and they repeat the same story? When you're repeating the same stories, we all repeat the same, whatever same stories we're repeating, because we haven't quite learned a lesson about that story yet. So when you're being still and quiet, ask the question. Ask, beloved. I might not know who you are, beloved, but what I do know is that you only come from a place of pure love, because I don't connect or communicate with those who don't come from a place of pure love. So you need to say that so that you don't have no specialness whispering in your ear. Okay. And when you hear communication from your collective consciousness, you want to ask, well, who's talking to me? Who am I talking to right now? I want to know, and find out who you're talking to. Listen to what they say. Ask them to spell their name if you don't understand what they said. Spell it the way you think it should be spelled. I remember I was visited, and I was like, it was like I was visited and I received this healing gift was kind of like imparted in me. And I was asking, well, who are you? And I heard the name and I wrote it down the best I could. And I remember putting it like on my altar in a special place. I wrote it on a piece of paper. It was like this big. And I wrote the name really big the way I thought it was spelled. And it would be maybe a year, maybe two, I don't know, maybe a year and a half later, when I learned who that was. And I was like, get out of here. Wow. I was like amazed. And so ask who you're talking to and make a deal that, look, I only work with people that come from, with beings that come from a place of pure love. If that's not you, get out of here. I ain't working with that. You know what I mean? So those were a whole lot of tips. I hope you take them. And discern your truth. Discern the truth before you jump to conclusions and create a whole big ball of goulash over freaking nothing. Try to heal before you react. It's always better to respond versus reacting. Okay. If a person says something and you're reacting. Okay. Take a moment, process, and respond. When you respond, you still might have heightened energy. You still might be saying, well, look, da 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 da. You might be laying things out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, if you're responding, but you may not be, that's reacting. You ain't got it together. And sometimes when we come across that way, they might not be hearing us. Because there's too much going on. They like, oh my God. So I hope that was enough tips for you. I hope you took some notes. And we gonna keep it moving with this series. We gonna finish this series one day soon. All right, y'all, don't forget, look in the description box. Come join us in our community, either the Sage Circle or Roses, Lavender, and Sage. If you're a man, men and women could be in the Sage Circle, but Roses, Lavender, and Sage are women that work closely with me. We also are opening up very soon. We are opening up our private group that will be working directly with me. That group is limited in the number of people that can participate, because we are going to work together intensely for at least 1 year. So it's going to be a long-term relationship that we will have, and we will work on your goals, whatever it is that we're working on for you to get to where you want to be. You will have access to all my coursework, but we will be going through a process and a journey together. And that's why it has to be. I have the number of people that can be allowed in the group. Like, I am channeling the information from spirit exactly, what to share with you guys and how this program is to work. So this program is not really from me, okay? Um, to me, it looks like a program that I had called Just Ask Rorree. It looks similar to that. However, I'm getting from spirit that is going to be very interactive and engaging, and it feels like it's going to be molded in the way that it is needed. That's what I'm hearing. Like, it's going to serve the community that's involved in the program. So that will be released very soon. I'm not going to give out the date, although I have been given the date of when that program is to start. So soon you will be seeing me do some marketing for that. So definitely come into the community. It's fun. We have a free side of the community, and we have the side of the community that is a membership. It's a minimal fee. You could just go look at the link and you can see everything. And again, if you're needing one of those exemption things, I'm not gonna, if you're needing one of those, we do have those available, because again, we believe in free will. All right. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. And I'll see you in the next one. Ashe, ashe, ashe.